Morning, good evening, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to be playing one of the new vehicles of the Hornet Sting update, the 2S19M1. Just to let you all know, my voice is still recovering, so it is going to be a bit bad during this and maybe next video as well, just to let you know in advance. So, for the first game, we are on test site 2271 in the 2S19M1. Now, let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of this vehicle. We'll start off with the pros. You have a 152 with a really good high explosive shell. So this means most targets are going to be pretty easy to kill. And the targets that don't die in one shot, if you don't aim right on, you have other shells such as an APHE or a heat bomb. So your offensive capabilities are really good. The high explosive shell is also a proximity fuse, so you can't fight back against aircraft. Even though it's not the most effective, it's still very useful to have. The other big upside I found, at least while playing this, is the mobility. You have basically a T80 chassis with no armor, but you are really fast. This is a Russian tank, so you don't have a reverse gear, but you come up to a bit over 50 kph going forward, which is always good to have. Now the downsides. The first thing that you may notice is the size. This thing is fucking massive. Everybody's gonna see you. You're not gonna be able to hide in this, and that includes hiding from cast. So you are a prime cast target, which is kinda annoying. So you're very big, and the other thing is you don't have any armor. I think you have 11 millimeters all around. Yeah, it's not good, especially the turret, which means every heavy MG can go through you from the front, and yeah, so you're not gonna be able to survive things. Plus, you're very big, which all leads to one conclusion: you're not gonna be surviving through a game very often. Some cases, this one for example, you do survive pretty much all the way through, but you can't expect to survive a full game since you are so large and you don't have any sort of protection. Now, is this thing worth getting and actually putting a crew on it and putting it in your lineup? Well, there's two sides to this. First is, you are going to have to grind it, since it's not folded or anything, it's in the tech tree as its own vehicle. Now, there are, as I said, two sides to this. You are going to have to get it, but do you put it in your lineup? Now, for me, since I have all the crew slots, what I mean by that is I have bought all the crews you can buy, essentially, for the Soviets. And yes, I would recommend you putting this in your lineup if you have so many crew slots. But I know many players don't have all the crew slots that I have, and this means that you're going to have to choose and pick on what vehicles you want. Now, in this case, I wouldn't really recommend it. You are going to have to need other tanks in this hypothetical lineup, and I wouldn't say the 2S19M1 is a sort of priority. Now, if you do like high explosive launchers, of course you should put it in. You should definitely try this, but this doesn't mean that you should put it in your lineup. So, two sides. Either you put it in, or you basically don't. Hopefully this video is going to show you a bit of how this thing performs. But if you have limited crew slots, I wouldn't really recommend you use this. With 10 kills in total, we take first place on this win. We earned a total of 8,400 research points and 83,000 silver lions. For the second game, we are on Fields of Normandy, and I'm taking my usual route. I am going from the south spawn, and I'm going towards A, hopefully getting some shots on enemies going towards C. And we do that by killing a M41. Now, as you can see, we see more shots coming from the middle of the map, so we're going to rotate around and hopefully engage and eliminate them as well. Some of the things you do have to take into account when you're playing this is, of course, the pros and cons I mentioned before. You are a very quick tank, so you may reach positions early than you would have in other tanks, but what happens if you get engaged? You are very large, you don't have any armor. What are you gonna do if you're in a position where you need to use gun depression? But since this is a artillery piece and a Russian tank, you don't have any gun depression. What if you need to disengage? You need to take that into account as well. As it doesn't have a reverse gear, your better option is to just go forward a bit and then rotate around. So all of this you do need to take into account, and if it's a, for example, a medium tank or a MT, your statistics are pretty equal on all sides. But here it's a different story. You have massive firepower, good mobility, but your survivability, for example, is very poor, and your size is also going to be a hindrance, for example. All of this you do need to take into account, which makes successful play in these sort of tanks very difficult. But of course, if you manage to succeed, it's a very nice and it's a very good feeling to have. Now, we did die at B, and if you look now at the minimap, we have control over A, but the enemies do have control of the middle, which is going to allow them to basically secure A in a few minutes. So what's important for us here is to capture C as quickly as possible and then rush over to help kill off as many enemies as possible on B. And this is hopefully going to be done before they can gain control over A. Now here we have gone over and actually taken control over B. We got there a bit late, but we do manage to finish off the last guy on B. We luckily have managed to contain the push, and we are in control of all the objectives. So what's important now is that we find a good defensive location so we actually can defend this next push. What's important is that our team doesn't just rush forward and start the spawn camping process, and that often leads to the enemy just absolutely crushing us and we have no tanks left. With the enemies having taken control over both C and starting to capture point B, it's now up to us to prevent this from happening. In the ideal scenario, we would be able to defend and retake B and C, but if you look at the minimap, we're probably not going to be able to do so. So my goal here is just to draw out their attack for as long as possible so that they run out of spawn tickets. And we do start off on a pretty good note by killing off a M56, but now we do need to find the guy on B. But instead of us killing the enemy, it's actually the enemy that spots us and shoots us first. Luckily for us, he doesn't actually kill us and we are just mightily disabled. Unfortunately, we couldn't even get on the point to speed the cap up or speed up our repair time. With 7 kills, we take second place in the team, earning a total of 9,300 research points and 101,000 silver lions. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned as there will be more content to come about War Thunder in the near future. Until next time, take care.